Wow. Hi everyone. Haven't been live in a really long time because yeah, I think it's a good time for a general recap of everything. But how has everyone been doing? I'm live today because I really wanted to take a moment to thank all of you guys for supporting my channel and being here with me as I talk about a lot of stuff related to life. And this is the year I really started streaming regularly, although it didn't really last for a really long time. And because of that, I got a lot of repeat viewers and people who come and drop by and say hi. I got to learn a lot more about your lives, and it's been a very good experience for me too, and I wanted to just at least say thank you for your appreciation, and especially for those of you who came to the stream, then joined my Discord channel, and then made things work for me. I really wanted to give you a big thanks, and so I'll tell you a little bit about why I started streaming and why I started around the time I started, and then why I stopped the time I stopped. So, as you all know, I'm a life coach. I have a life coach business, and at the same time, I have a software engineering job, and so I'm a two job working kind of a guy. And then at the beginning of this year, I had some month long workshops, right? And because of that, I there was a lot of time I spent with my clients and with my work, and then I was having this kind of an itch for a creative place where I don't just talk to the same people I talk to every day. I wanted to try something kind of like where I talk with a bunch of people at once. In other words, streaming. But January I was busy marketing for things. February I was busy actually running workshop. March I was busy because of marketing for the workshop. April I had the workshop, and then so came May, and I was thinking, do I want to continue doing these month long workshops? That was the original plan. I had planned to do the month long workshop. It was a business coaching workshop, but number one, it took a lot of my time, which is usually fine. But I had a new boss at work, and with the new boss at work, it was a little bit difficult for me to spend a lot of time with my business because with the new boss comes in with a lot of different expectations and different practices, and boss when you have a new coworker, it's a little bit different because you can catch them up to speed at your own leisure, but then bosses, right, they need to be up to speed really fast, so they're a little bit more time demanding. And because of that, I was like, okay, so I'll stop the regular things like I'll stop the month long workshops. But you know what? That gave me kind of the good prime time for um, talking about stuff on stream, where that was kind of like my original plan. That was like my original goal, right? And so that's why I kind of started streaming. And at first, my goal was to just stream for at least an hour, right? Because I noticed that I could come live and then I could just talk about whatever I wanted to talk about, and then I could just get out of here, right? But when I do that, there's not a lot of time that I can spend with people, interacting with people, because I think that's kind of the beautiful thing about streaming. You can interact with people as they come on, but if I'm just here talking about the stuff that I want to talk about and get out, it doesn't give a lot of time for the people to drop by and get people to know about what I'm really talking about, give people a chance to talk about what they're going through and things like that. So I wanted to try going live for at least an hour. Man, that was really hard. I think if you look at my earlier streams, um, uh, let's see. Oh, I actually streamed around February, so I guess my time is a little bit off. But yeah, because it was really difficult to stream for an hour. I had a really tough time talking to myself. But I noticed that after about a week, after about 2 weeks, I got a lot better at talking to myself. And this skill, I think, has been kind of the most valuable skill I can have as a person who's working with other people. The ability to just kind of talk on and on and on. And it stopped making me feel awkward. And to be completely honest, I think it's largely because I changed my relationship with you guys. And I changed how I think about the viewers. Because I thought everyone was going to be antagonistic. I thought everyone's going to be like, "Well, why is this guy here talking about these things?" But um, many of you joined the stream to say hi, just casual hello and then drop off. Many of you have come to regularly visit and say hi. Many of you did a lot of things that really made me feel at ease. I felt really comfortable and like, wow, this YouTube is a kind of a safe space where I can be in. So that's what really made me feel a lot more at ease. And like I said, this is a very important skill that I developed, and I couldn't have developed it without your help. So I wanted to really thank you. And you know so that's my gratitude for all of you. Thank you so much. And then let's talk about some recap about my YouTube channel. Let's look at the entire year in review, and let's see. Oh, right. And why I stopped streaming is again because of work. Work has started to demand a lot of my time, and at the same time, around then, I also picked up a lot of one-on-one clients. And because of that, I really didn't have time to sit down in front of the computer for like an hour and just kind of unwind, because I'm either working or I'm either coaching or I need to do stuff around the house. I need to feed the dogs, I need to cook and things like that. I need to have dinner, I need to go to jiu-jitsu train, I need to go swimming and things like that. So I just really didn't have have the time to sit down with the stream. But things are changing. So in 2025, again, I'm gonna be back to streaming with a more regular schedule, but it'll have to be after January. It's gonna have to be around February because of reasons I will explain shortly. But let's take a recap of 2024. Okay. So this is my analytics page, and not 25, last one, yeah, let's look at 2024. I have no idea what happened here, but got a lot of views around this time. Maybe I think this is when I hit one of the algorithms, but you can see how there's these spikes, and these spikes are usually related to when your video hits the algorithm. It's not gonna hit it all the time, but it will. The more consistently you post videos on YouTube, the more likely it is going to get it. And I think a big milestone that I got is hitting the 1,000 subscribers. So I have 1275 subscribers right now, but subscribers, yeah, there's always a plus and minus, but then the more consistently you do it, eventually you just have to grow, right? And I remember struggling. Well, you kind of have to struggle when you start looking at the numbers, because your brain, when you look at the numbers, it starts thinking it's important, but it's actually really not, right? But in any case, I remember struggling around, I think it was like 800, 900-ish. There was a period of time where it felt like really stagnant, and it didn't grow after that. And I was like, oh, what am I doing wrong? Like, what kind of videos should I be making to have more subscribers? But then, that's how YouTube channels become kind of a stress factor instead of this like really fun place. And so I think it's around this time where I actually just stopped thinking about subscriber numbers, and then it just kind of went on. And now I have 1274, which is like 300 more than when I was stressing about, and that just goes to tell you, don't stress about YouTube because it's meant to be a fun place for me. It's meant to be a fun place for you. So why subject you to my misery, right? Um, top content for this is for 24 hours, but yeah, top content in this period. Hey, Billy Jr. is 12 today, so I guess people really like dog videos. Billy Jr. also turned is gonna turn 13 soon, and actually I have a photo of Billy Jr., so I will show it to you. uh Let me find the photo first. Let me see. Oh, maybe I didn't download it, but you know what? We took a fancy studio photo recently, so I would like to show off that photo. But while I wait for that, I hope everyone had a nice Christmas and nice holiday seasons. I had a nice holiday season, but not really because I have strep throat. That's my why my voice is a little bit funky. I got strep throat, and it hurts a lot. You know, you know something funny is my wife never has strep throat, but I always have strep throat. I think it's related to some culture or continental stuff. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, so this is the photo that we took at a studio. It's pretty fancy, right? They were wearing these nice stick sweaters, but yeah, putting such a sweet little girl here, Billy Jr. is being a total poop bag. uh, this is me again, putting as being a little sweetie. Billy Jr. is again going insane, and last one, here's Billy Jr. again, going a little bit insane. Why? In the studio there was another dog, and when Billy Jr. notices another dog, he just won't stop barking, and he just doesn't know what to do with another dog other than bark, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, yeah, Billy Jr. is 12 in January 2nd, and he is going to be 13 in January 2nd, which is great. Another popular video: why do some people achieve a lot quickly, don't waste their life, while other people take years? I think in this video I talk about how in life there is no timeline. And also, you don't know what other people have went through in the past. You only notice the things that are externally visible from their lives. And so we are quick to judge other people because of what we see, because and we don't see what is going on inside their brain, but we see what's inside of our brain. So we don't we like to think from our perspective of everyone's experience, but it's not necessarily like that, right? IVDD relief for dogs. So Pudding had a disc rupture. Not I'm not sure if it's a complete rupture, but Pudding had a disc problem, right? And her lower body was just like completely offline. She just wouldn't be able to move her lower body. So we thought, oh man, is this it for Pudding? Do we have to put her down, or is her quality of life just gonna degrade from that because she can't walk? And we looked at some different options, but then acupuncture was available for us because the vet's a little bit far away, but there was a vet who did acupuncture. So we went to acupuncture and we started treating her with that, and with acupuncture and the supplement called collagen, her back health has improved greatly. And so if you have a dog with the IVDD, I would really strongly suggest acupuncture and collagen. Explain in depth, why do some people have it all? Well, some people have it all, some people don't, but it's fine, right? Because life is relative. And even if you have it all, there's nothing stopping you from thinking, why don't I have that one thing that I really want? Even if you don't have anything, there's nothing stopping you from being happy today. And that's something important to keep in mind. Sick of being addicted to adult media? I think I don't specifically remember what this is about, but I'm sure. I think I talked about something along the lines of uh, time management, like, and dopamine. When you don't have anything and you're looking for that quick fix, adult media is so easy to access. And so I think your relationship with dopamine, like, and thinking of something to do when you're bored, I think that's what I talked about in this video. I become extremely attached to people and then out of nowhere hate them. So this video got a lot of, this is the most recent video that hit the algorithm, and a lot of people really resonated with the, original premise of the problem, right? And some people said it's like bipolar disease and blah, blah, blah. But what's important is our expectations of other people, and the more we kind of attach external value to other people, right? Like, the more we think other people are really more special than way more special than we are, and then we hype other people up, and then suddenly there comes a point where you come to realize that, oh, other people are not that special, right? And then that's when the illusion kind of breaks, and when that illusion breaks, then people generally have a tendency of like, oh wait, I suddenly completely lost interest in you. And so that's what more or less happens, and I think I talked about that. How to recover from years of social isolation. Recovering from social isolation, I think I think I talked about it in this way in the past, and I still believe it. The best way is to start by expressing yourself. When we isolate, we have a tendency to cave in, and we keep engaging with our inner voice. And you know what? Speaking out your inner voice is the same thing as just thinking the inner voice we think. So, we think as long as we can continue thinking, it's not that big of a problem. But the thing is, when you lose the ability, when the ability to verbalize, when the ability to speak out your mind gets diminished, we tend to think it diminishes in the place of other people. We think we can't speak in front of other people, but we're fine when we're by ourselves. But eventually what's going to happen is you're just going to start losing the ability to express yourself at all. And if you can't verbally express it, your kind of like entire life, it will lose a lot of its expressive power. So it's important for you to be able to start expressing yourself. And so in order to do that, I think this year we also tried a lot of the social skill social skill experiment and training sessions. We didn't have enough of a recurring people to have it going on an ongoing basis, so we stopped. But hey, who knows, something might change, and we might return it in the future. But expression, very, very, very important. How to stop thinking everyone hates me. Yeah, how to stop thinking everyone hates me. Everyone hates you. Well, we kind of assume that everyone does hate us. We're like, yes, people do hate me. And, so what? You can hate me, but it doesn't really impact me at all. right? Someone might be watching right now and someone might be thinking this is a really stupid video. But that's their opinion, right? But, I really have no thought about that. So it doesn't impact me. But when somebody hates me, it's actually them who's having a bad time. Because when I hate something, I'm the one who's having a bad time, right? So I think I talked about this on stream a few months ago. But there's a song by there's a song called High Hopes by, who's it by? Panic at the Disco. And I really am not fond of that song. Why? Because that song is like high pitch, high pitch, high pitch galore. And it's really enervating to listen to that song. So, I, whenever that song comes out on the radio, I just don't have a good time. And so, every time that song comes out on the radio, that song happens to be a popular song, right? And I don't have control over when that song is gonna be live. So every time that song comes out, I have to impulsively, change the channel or something like that, right? Which means I'm the one who's having a bad time. But Panic at the Disco is making bank at the radio, right? Because their song's being played. So hate is kind of has an inverse relationship. SB, hello, nice to meet you. And so, how to stop thinking everyone hates me? We have to realize that when people hate me, it's kind of their loss. And their hatred of me really has no impact on my life if I want it to. But when I start caring about it, when I start wanting other people to not hate me, that is when my life becomes a little bit more impacted by the hate, right? But why give the reign of my happiness to other people is sort of my overall philosophy. And once you get the taste of you having control over your own happiness, the less likely you are gonna give it to other people in the future, because the more you realize, oh, it makes no sense. No, we can talk about anything. It's just I just started the recap because I wanted to say hi, hello, and thanks to everyone for tuning in for the videos. But we can talk about anything. It's just that when we aren't talking about anything, I just wanted to kind of do a recap. Oops, okay. The next one is being insecure with being ugly looks in general. I think this is kind of similar to the hatred, right? Okay, so I am ugly, but what? I am ugly, and I might not be the next model for what's a good brand? I don't know, Gucci. But the thing is, even if you are the most handsome person in the world, doesn't guarantee you're gonna be able to model in everything, right? And even if you are the most handsome and the most beautiful person in the world, doesn't mean you're gonna be the happiest person in the world, right? So yeah, I'm not perfect at all, right? My nose is like flat, and my face is generally flat, and my head is on the big side, and I have my hairline. I don't know if it's receding, but I have that like monkey hairline, and I'm not 6 feet tall, and yeah, you can send the tweet. I can respond to that. But the thing is, there are some things that benefit from having a good look, right? There are some things that you don't benefit from by having a bad look, but it's okay, because that is not the entire point of life, right? You're not going to be able to have everything you want in your life, and that's okay. Explained in depth social isolation for autistic spectrum disorder. I think this is an in-depth video about autism and social isolation, but that's sort of the 10 most popular videos of this YouTube channel in particular, and training attention span. Yeah, every time. No, you know what? Never mind. Average view duration is 2 minutes. I really like that. Why? Because most of my videos are less than 2 minutes, so it means that view time is generally high. And I think that's the part that a lot of YouTubers miss. They keep making long videos, which is fine. But I think for your channel growth, I think it's important to have a short horizontal videos. Audience. Well, not enough viewers, which makes sense because I'm not Mr. Beast or anything. Top geography: United States, Canada, UK, Australia, Philippines. Oh, in the past there was a lot more Indian people, but I guess India is like only 1.5% now. And Asian gender. Still a lot of young adults, but some older adults as well. That's good. Okay, and that has been the recap of my YouTube channel. And this year, for me, there was a lot of what else happened for me this year? I started writing every day, starting June. So I have a marketing, business marketing email, and you know how you get email from like Target or Nike every once in a while, right? And because I have a life coaching business, I also have email marketing, and I used to write like every 2 days every week or something like that. But I realized, there's nothing stopping me from writing every day, so I started writing every day, and that also has been a really good kind of a opportunity for me to just like start practicing writing anything, right? And just like how streaming has helped me talk about anything, having this kind of a outlet of a writing helped me express my ideas a lot. And again, the expressing is so important. So that's something I did. Also, around I became more of a hardcore, not hardcore. My Buddhist practices became a lot more structured and regimented. I visited a lot more temples in 2024. Had a Buddhist. I became a formal member of my Buddhist order, and then I went to the training and got a lot of breakthroughs in that. So Buddhism wise, it's been a really good year too. Met with Dr. Robert Buswell, who's like the pioneer with the Korean pioneering kind of the sharing of English knowledge with the Korean related topics related to Korean Buddhism. So that was a really good moment for me too. You have problems with maintaining momentum. So I think that means like you start a project with a lot of eagerness, and then it kind of fizzles out, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna do it again, and then you start it, and then it goes about 3 days, and then it fizzles out. I think that's sort of that's what you mean by you have a problem with maintaining momentum, right? So assuming that is the case, the maintaining momentum, I think, is largely because you don't really want to do it, right? So when you want to do something, you don't really even think about momentum, because why? It's so innately part of you, right? You don't need to motivate yourself to do it. So this is something I say to my clients a lot. When I talk to my clients and I give them a lot of opinions and like general like guidance, they say, I'm gonna give that a try, and I always point out, try means you don't want to do it, right? So the nuance of the word try is very important. So suppose I'm a vegetarian, right? If I'm a vegetarian, eating a salad, I don't need to try and eat a salad, right? I just eat a salad. But if I'm a vegetarian and my mom really wants me to try a piece of steak because it's so perfectly cooked, then I have to try it, right? I have to try it to see if I like it or not. But we in America, we have a lot of opposites of that, right? We have intense carnivores, like people who are just so averse to vegetables. And I happen to really like broccoli. So my wife is a carnivore. So I say, oh, honey, this broccoli is amazingly cooked. Try it. And she has to try the broccoli, right? But my wife, she has no problem trying steak, right? She doesn't even try steak, she just eats steak, right? So just like that. Trying means underneath there is something that doesn't want me to go fully on board. Like Yoda said, there is no try, there is only do, right? But the important thing is we think when we want to do something, we want to do it. But there's a very big difference between thinking we want it versus us actually wanting it. And many times, because we think those two are the same thing, we find ourselves at odds with each other. So, I want to read more. I want to read more in the upcoming year in 2025. We think we want to read more. Why? Because reading is good, and it's like I can tell other people that I'm a reader. I'm more educated. I'm more cultured, and then some books have pretty covers, and so yeah, trying is like being half-hearted, right? But because of that, I think I want to read. But when I actually sit down to read, I'm studying French, so I happen to have a book. Okay, so I'm studying French. Elle habite dans un appartement. Elle a bien chante. Bien so souvent. And then I'm like, oh, okay, so I don't know this word, but like, oh man, French has conjugation, and this verb has like 6 forms, and I'm like, oh. Okay, so it's been less than 1 minute of me like reading French, right? And I'm already not enjoying it, right? So what am I going to do? I'm gonna try to read one more chapter. Pascal est grand. Il est étudiant. Ma mère est coréenne. So I keep trying, and then like, oh man, I flip the page and there's like this one more, right? I'm like, oh. And then the next distraction wave comes in. I'm like, oh yeah, I wondered what happened in that soccer game. And then guess what? Let me check that soccer game. And then when I hop on the dopamine train, am I gonna come back to studying French? Am I gonna come back to reading a book? No. Right? Why? Because I don't actually want to. I thought I wanted to read. I thought I wanted to read in French, but I don't actually want to. I want the ability, but I don't want the process. Right? So, why being really clear on what I actually want and what I actually don't want is it reduces the argument that I have with myself. When I'm clear on this, I don't have to say things like, why am I so weak-willed? Why do I have no focus? Why am I so stupid? Why am I so blah blah blah? All these self-criticisms. These self-criticisms are only valid if you're actually like attention deficit. If you're actually, if you actually have problems of, not being able to control yourself. But the thing is, most of the times, like 99% of the times, people generally don't want to do the things that they think they want to do. And yeah, having a clear why is very, very important. But hey, you know what? Even when you have a clear why, it doesn't automatically mean that you're gonna want to do it, right? So, for example, you say you want a hot beach body, right? And so, why? Because you got bullied when you were young because you were overweight, and I have a bit of a like tits, right? So I used to feel very insecure about like my I don't know what it's called. In Korean it's called feminine boobs, feminine breasts. Anyway, I have boobies. And so because of that I felt super like conscious about it, and I was overweight as a child, and I had eating disorders when I was growing up. I would eat and then I would like be so worried about gaining weight, and then I would like I would puke it all out. But when I do that, like I want to puke it all out, but it doesn't mean that it's enjoyable for me, right? I want to lose weight, but losing weight is not all that enjoyable for me, right? So this is like this entire story of the diet marketing, diet industry, right? You want to lose weight, but it's not gonna be fun. So with those cases, having a why is very clear. We want to be clear because we're morbidly obese. We want to, have good self-esteem and blah blah blah. But it doesn't mean that the journey is going to be that enjoyable. So this is where it ties in with a lot of my other videos. So you don't want to do it, but do you have the ability to do it when you don't want to do it? Many people, it's a put in simple terms, it's a 4-quadrant matrix. On one hand, you do things you want to do. This is not a problem. You don't do things you don't want to do. Again, this is not a problem. So, eating delicious food, not a problem for me. Stabbing myself with a knife, I don't do that, not a problem for me. But there are things that we gotta do, but we don't want to do. There are things we want to do, but it's not good for us, right? So, I could go and start drinking, right? Because I don't know, like drinking can be fun, but it's not going to be good for me because I need to drive later today, right? So in that case, regardless of how much I want to drink, I need to not drink. I studying French, obviously hard. French is a very completely new language to me. I didn't even fully learn how to speak Spanish. So European languages with all of its conjugations are very difficult for me. But I have dreams of living in France, right? And in order to do that, I need to learn French, right? So because of that, I need to be able to do things I don't necessarily want to do. So one way to go about doing things is learning how to navigate your mind, learning how to communicate, talk to yourself, and actually changing that. I don't want to do this, but hey, you know what? If we do this, then let's do this. And then I convince myself, I hype myself up, and then I slowly turn that into, okay, I want to do it now. For the other case, I want to drink, but you need to blah blah blah, and this is gonna be so bad for you. You're gonna have a crazy hangover and diarrhea and like blah blah blah. You're gonna reek of alcohol smell and blah blah. Oh, now I don't want to. So that's one way of going about things, right? You can convince yourself to change your opinions about things, but that means your life isn't really up to you. Your life is up to how you feel. And I don't know about other life coaches, but for me, I don't want your life to be conditional. I don't want your life to be dependent on anything. So that's why I encourage people to learn how to do things regardless of how they feel, right? That is the ultimate valuable skill. That is the way more beneficial, in my opinion, than learning how to deal with your thoughts, learning how to deal with your feelings. Yes, those are important skills, and I can definitely teach you how to manage your thoughts, how you can manage your feelings. But if you only depend on that, you are a slave to your brain. You are a slave to your body. And you are always going to be limited by your thoughts, and you are always going to be limited by your feelings. I think true freedom, I think true life is independent of anything. And that includes me. My life, nothing can stop me from living my life. Not even me. Not even the things that I think, not even the feelings I feel. So, we started from I have a problem with maintaining momentum, but so I talked about a lot of things, so I'll give you a quick summary. Maintaining momentum is difficult when you don't want to do things. So it's important to recognize, hey, it's not that I have a momentum problem, it's that I thought I wanted to do this, but I actually don't want to do this problem. So when you have that discord between I think I want to do something but I don't want to do something, one way is to change your thinking. Oh, you know what, I'm clear now, I actually don't want to do this. Then don't do it. That's one way of doing it. No suffering. Another way is, you know what, I think I want to do this, and I can rationalize it further more, right? And I'm, you know what, I think it's really important for me to do this. Yeah. So I'm gonna stop trying. I'm gonna stop being half-hearted with this. I'm gonna give this an actual go. I'm gonna commit to this. So let's do this. Let's drop this whole concept of trying. So that way you actually want to do this, right? Your body follows the brain. So this kind of flipping is one way of dealing with it. But ultimately, what I encourage for everyone is, regardless of what you think, regardless of what you actually want, just do something if it's important to you. And the ability to kind of like not be directed by the thoughts in your head. The ability to move past how you feel, the ability to move past your resistance. That, I think, is the ultimate kind of a lesson that I want to teach to everyone. Yeah. Change your perspective and don't do it just to try. You just gotta do it. And but you know, just doing things when it's hard is going to be very challenging, right? But that's kind of the point. I invite people to live a life of challenge, intentional challenge. In fact, it has 3 factors: voluntary, humanly possible, challenge. Every day, when you give yourself a voluntary, humanly possible challenge, your life will significantly change. So for me, in last month in November, I hit 1 year of Buddhist practices. I wake up at 5 a.m. I bow 108 times and I meditate. So I do that every day, every morning, before I start my day. So waking up at 5 a.m. challenging. You know what? But you get used to it, right? That's the normal time you wake up. But when you travel, when you're sick, it doesn't matter. I decided that I'm gonna wake up at 5. Hey, Real, how's it going? Happy New Year soon. I hope you have a wonderful holiday. Yeah, meditation makes your memory better. But meditation is really hard, right? So, that kind of unwavering will of like, I commit to this practice, so I'm gonna do it regardless of whether I'm sick or not. I have strep throat, and I had COVID earlier this year. I still woke up at 5, and I still did the vows, right? On one day, I couldn't do it because I physically could not move, but the next day, I did 300 vows to compensate for it. So, just like that, I learned how to move past myself. Yeah, meditate, and many people think the 108 vows is the challenging part, but it's actually the meditation that's really challenging. I think meditation is like the hardest thing that I've ever done. But meditation is learning how to meditate well has been a really great asset for me. And we at my Discord server, we have a weekly meditation gathering, which unfortunately is gonna have to put on pause for a reason I'm gonna talk about in just a second. But collective meditation is something that I want to introduce more into my YouTube community as well. So I think when I come back in February, I think I'm going to start hosting the meditation meetings in YouTube as well as my Discord. Which you can, for the viewers who are watching async, you can hop on my Discord by coming here. So, Ryo, it's good to see you. How have you been? I haven't seen you in a while because I haven't streamed in a while. But now I can talk about what I'm going to be doing in India. Not this window. Yeah. Okay. So next in on January in early January I am going to India. And why am I going to India? I am going to India for a pilgrimage. So you know how the Spain has Camino de Santiago, the walking pilgrimage of the important Catholic sites. Well, Buddhism has something similar, and I am going to participate in that with my Buddhist order. You quit your job and now jobless, stay at room all alone all day. Oh man, you know what though? I think I remember you weren't really happy with that job, right? And the important thing is, as long as you're alive, and you know what, as long as you live a modest life, you don't need that much money, right? And so it's important for you to find happiness regardless of how much money you make. It's important for you to find happiness regardless of what job you have or don't have. So I think whether you have a job or not, whether you're talking with people or not, as long as you're happy, I think it's fine. But I see your building videos on YouTube, so I think you're having a good time. Yeah. So we are starting in Varanasi, which is here, because there's an international airport here, and we're gonna look at the Ganges River. Yeah, there's a lot of temples here, the Hindu temples, and we're gonna look at study this river, why it's so culturally significant in India, and then yes, I'm going to India for a pilgrimage, and then we are going to go to the after Varanasi, we're going to go to Bodh Gaya, which is Gaya. So this is where Buddha had awakened, and both after Bodh Gaya, we are traveling to all the different sites that are significant in Buddhist history, and then we are briefly visiting Nepal to go to the birth site of the Buddha, and then we are going to come back to India and then go all the way up here, and then we're gonna end our destination in Delhi to go to the Delhi museum to look at the remains of Buddha, and then it's gonna be like a 14-day, 16-day kind of a long journey, and after that pilgrimage, I am going to briefly visit Korea. So, going to go from Delhi to Korea, and going to visit my family. My family is around here, close to Seoul, and then after that, I'm gonna come back to sunny California, back to my family. So, why I'm telling you this is so entire January I'm basically going to be offline, so I won't be able to post a lot of videos. I won't be able to write a lot of emails. I won't be able to engage a lot in Discord. But I just wanted you to know the reason why. Thank you so much. I hope I enjoyed it too. It's gonna be hard. We're gonna have to pee and poo in the wild, and we won't really be able to wash and shower. But the Buddha was in the same condition, and he was having a happy life, right? So the whole entire point of the pilgrimage is that it's not going to be easy, based on the life that we're used to living, but hey, it's not the life that we have to live, and we can be happy under any condition, and that is more or less the lesson that we are trying to teach ourselves with this pilgrimage. So that's coming up in January. I'll make another video announcing it so that people don't. Yeah, but I mean people don't really like come to my YouTube channel demanding for videos, but just wanted to tell you all because hey, I like talking to you guys, and I appreciate it when you guys talk to me about stuff. Okay, so that's sort of the life recap that I have for 2024. For 2025, I am going to be working a lot on YouTube related things, so gonna be more live more often, and I have a training program that I'm specifically developing for YouTube, right? It's called the Training Arc, and I don't know if you like anime, but I like anime, and my favorite parts of anime isn't really the. It's not really the part about the big fights and the things like that. My favorite part of anime is when the protagonist faces his or her limitations and seriously goes to the drawing board and starts training more seriously, right? And so I've always been interested in having a kind of a signature program that incorporates my interest anime. So I'm gonna have the Training Arc. It's under development, and I'm going to be publishing it in 2025. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, aside from that, I just again wanted to thank you, especially. Yeah, One Punch is fun. I like One Punch. The concept of limiter is, I think, really interesting. They're not here right now, but I wanted to really thank some specific people because they were the ones who really got the stream going. Kaylee, I really wanted to thank you, and Denise, I wanted to thank you, and Francis, I really wanted to thank you, and Katerina, I really wanted to thank you. These are real. I also wanted to thank you. Some other names. Mordecai, I want thank you as well, and hi, Meku, I wanted to thank you as well, and there were some other people, but all the people that I'm mentioning right now is they were really instrumental in helping me get the stream going. Oh, and Matthias, I wanted to thank you as well. And there's some names I'm probably forgetting. I apologize, but I really appreciate all of you tuning in. Mob Psycho 100. I wanted to get into it, but my subscription for Crunchyroll expired, so I'm gonna give it a try. It's by the same person as the One Punch, right? Oh, speaking of One Punch, you know what I really like about One Punch? Like when you look at web comics from Korea, so you know how traditionally manga is like Japanese, right? It's for like it's for the magazines, and let me show you the visual kind of so it's for these magazines, and so you notice how these are all super like high quality and good color, and what's really being pronounced these days is that all the people who draw this, they're really overworked, because having to produce something regardless of your physical condition, regardless of your inspiration, is really difficult to do, right? So of course, like I advocate for doing something regardless of how you feel, but that kind of really needs some kind of a special kind of a dedication, right? But not everybody has that kind of a ability to do that. So what's happening a lot in the Japanese manga community is that the artists get sick a lot. They get overworked and they develop long-term health problems. Hunter x Hunter is like really notorious for this, right? So Hunter x Hunter is like it's frequently called hiatus because it goes on hiatus so often. So when you look at this, oh, I don't know why it's not showing up, but anyway, when you look at this manga, it's actually the number of weeks it's been serialized is significantly shorter than the number of time it's been on hiatus, because the artist has a really severe back pain. He's basically immobilized, right? And so why? Because he's had years and years of just constant drawing. And so this is in the Japanese scene, but in the Korean scene, you have like web comics, right? So these, you can see the quality for these is just kind of crazy, right? Like this is basically like this is supposed to be a comic, but it's like an entire illustration, like one cut after one cut, like each panel is like a work of art, right? So this kind of a practice is really extractive on the artist. So what's happening in Korea is that a lot of artists are being hospitalized, because why? They can't keep up with the pace. They need to release an episode every week. If they don't, they get canceled, and that they have no way of making money, right? So, and this happens in animation as well, right? A lot of the animators, and even in Hollywood, they're overworked, and that's why the animators sometimes go on strikes, and that's why animation has a guild, right? It's a union job instead of a individually contracted job. But why I'm saying this is One Punch Man is kind of unique because it it significantly compromises quality for the sake of consistency, right? So when you look at the artwork for the not remade version, right? So this is the not remade version. So you see, there's some detail of shading here, but it's nowhere close to the art style of the Korean one that we just saw. And One Punch Man has two versions. One is this like really rough drawing that the original guy did, and the new remade version is like the one with where they hired like an illustrator to basically do this, right? So this is the cut comparison. So this is the left, on the left side is the original artist who just does a simple job of drawing what's important, and the right is the part where they hired an actual like illustrator to make it look good. So One Punch Man, I think, is a really good example of how when you want to do something, it doesn't really matter what the quality of it is. It's what's important is that it's out. And the more consistently you can let it out regardless of quality, quality is something that just happens to be improved over time simply because you put in more reps. And then the quality of it just naturally increases. So I think this is something that also touches on what you said too, SB. It's about the fact that momentum, right? What one really easy way of momentum is gaining momentum is a job done is a job done. It doesn't matter that the job is well done. It doesn't matter that the job is crappily done. What's done is done, right? So the more you worry, the more you just focus on getting it done compared to doing a good job. I think as a society, we're all addicted to doing a good job. And the more we can let go of that, the easier our lives become. And the easier our life is, the more momentum just automatically comes. So I think that's something I wanted to also impart onto you today. Yeah, even if it's small, who cares? But what people don't realize is that it's the series of small things that lead to the occasional big things. But when you start with the idea to do a big thing, then it's stressful. Then it's heavy, right? But when you focus on just doing the thing and then sometimes getting a big thing as a side effect, you effectively get the big thing for free. So for example, I just hit an hour of streaming. I didn't mean to do an hour of streaming. I just wanted to come here and I just wanted to say hi to everyone because I haven't streamed in a while. I just wanted to say thank you to all the people who visited. And that was it, right? What's up, Matt? How's it going? And so that passed on, and then that passed on, and then that passed on, that passed on, and then now I have an hour stream, right? So, but if I come in, if I think I want to stream for an hour, then it's already stressful for me. I don't want to do that, right? So, Matt, the SB and I were talking about momentum and how do we gain momentum about, SB was talking about how it's difficult to maintain momentum. And I talked about the usual things that I like to talk about, how you don't want to do things that you have momentum on. I have strep throat, so my voice is a little bit off, but hey, I'm alive and I'm okay. Probably gonna rest a bit later too because I'm still not feeling 100%, but it's okay. I'm gonna grab a cup of water. I'll be right back. Yeah, momentum. I think SV was referring to like, oh, I'm studying French today, so tomorrow I'm also gonna study French, and then tomorrow the next day, and the next day, just kind of like keeping something going. I think that's the momentum that SV was referring to. Yeah, but for me, I've just been doing a lot of Duolingo French, because I want to learn French, and resting a lot because I have a strep throat, so my throat is all swollen, my voice is a little bit off, and sometimes I have a fever, but feeling, you know what, like, I don't know why it's usually when I take antibiotics it goes away pretty quickly, but I don't know why, like this time it's really not going away, but better than being sick in India, right? So I'm thankful for that. I got a flu shot recently too, so maybe that's why I'm extra sick. But oh, you were doing German? Oh, German. German is like way harder than French, I think, right? Yeah, I think all these European languages and the conjugation is hard. But speaking of Duolingo,
plante, plante,
plant,
Vélo. Content. Magasin. Ville.
ville,
Ville. Moi.
moi,
vélo,
vélo,
bière,
bière,
Amusant.
amusant, les vélos.
verre,
Faire is
4, verre,
Vin.
verre, 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 verre,
these two sound so similar
verre, verre,
because they sound same. Someone said to me that to learn language Duolingo. Yeah, but you know what? I can't really afford anything else right now. So no, that's a lie. But I think my wife and I, we both do Duolingo, so it's a little bit of a gaming aspect to it. So that's why I think we enjoy Duolingo. But I agree. So that's why I'm keeping a separate study note. Like I have a separate like French book that I'm studying. So Duolingo just helps me kind of get things rolling off the tongue a little bit more. But see, like Vert. I think it's this, right? Yeah, Vel is grass, and then Vel is green, but they sound the same in French. So I don't know.
Vert. 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 Vert.
They sound the same, so I don't know what to pick.
Quatre.
Cat. Oh.
20,
Fang.
Vert.
Okay, I'm gonna take a guess.
Vert.
Oh,
Vert.
my heart. You know what sucks? This takes 5 hours to recharge. So
Yeah.
unfair.
4, 4,
Mon vélo est vert. Paris et New York sont des grandes villes. Moi, j'habite dans une petite ville.
le thé vert,
The green tea, my favorite tea.
J'ai peu parcs dans ma vie.
Le bon
Les parcs dans les
le
parcs
bon
sont
sont
grands et verts et les parcs aussi.
grand. La ville. Une voiture.
j'aime les plantes,
Jim Leblanc. Is it a? I think it's feminine. Yes. This was also feminine. Yay. Is school feminine or masculine? École. It ends with an E. I'm gonna take a wild guess. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna cheat. Okay, it was feminine. School is feminine. Interesting. I need to take a note of that. École is feminine. Oh, yay. Oh, also, with Duolingo, when you do it on the phone, you have to watch ads all the time. But when you do it on the computer, you don't have. You can just have ad blocker on, which is nice. 50-day streak. You guys got to witness my 50-day streak. Okay. All right. Well, I think I am going to. I have a work meeting coming up, so I need to prepare for that because even though it's the end of the year, I still have to. I still have to work. So, well, but wanted to come in a little bit prior to work after my coaching session to, again, quickly say hi and just want to tell you guys appreciate you all so much, love you all, and let's continue working on our happiness in the year 2025. And see you next time. Oh, what I think my best insight from this year? I think the best insight of this year is this is something I learned in my Buddhist training. What I learned is I have to never settle. So what I mean is this: in Buddhism, right? We try and find who we are. Who am I? It's a very big question in Mahayana Buddhism. Who am I? And I think, I am a human, right? So that's who I am. But Matt is also a human, right? And SB is also a human. So that means Matt burns his hand, do I burn my hand too? Because we're both human. Okay, so that means, yes, I am part of me is human, but I am something separate from that. Okay, then what am I? I'm an Asian man. Okay, but if Simu Liu burns his hand, does that hurt my hand? No. Simu Liu is also an Asian man, right? Okay, so I'm not an Asian man. I am partly an Asian man, but that's a part of me. But I'm not. Okay, so what am I? I am the owner of this body. That sounds pretty convincing, right? Okay, but what happens a lot is, that's it. Now I know. And I stop wondering. And that is the most dangerous thing, right? It makes you complacent. It stops the inquisition process. I'm here, and I am the owner of this body. Yes, I figured it out. And when I stop wondering, I can't progress anymore about finding who I am. Because why? I stopped being curious. I got satisfied with the answer that I got. But I watch a medical documentary where they plug in a machine to a human brain and then they press a button and the person goes like this. Why? Because the brain was connected to a chip. Now that gets me thinking. I thought I was the owner of this body. But if there's a chip, there's an implant, if there's a machine that can do it, then is that machine me? No, the machine and me is separate. Then who am I? Then what am I? And now the process can begin, right? And then I keep searching. Who am I? What am I? I am the sum of my unique life experiences. Got it. So again, I got satisfied, right? I get complacent. I stop wondering. But the great insight that I learned this year is when I arrive at an answer that I like, the ability to go ask one more time. Is it? I thought I was the sum of my life experiences. And that sounds really convincing to me right now, but is it? Let me contemplate that. Matt has a unique set of life experiences, and that's what makes Matt. I have my set of unique life experiences, and that's what makes me me. But when I extend that logic to everyone, literally everyone has a unique life experience. Nobody has a non-unique life experience. So when everybody is unique, nobody is unique. Also, I think I am the sum of my life experiences, but even when I don't have a certain life experience, I am still me. If I am truly the sum of my life experiences, if I had something different for lunch yesterday, then I won't be me anymore, right? But I would still be me even if I had something different for lunch. So what am I? So, like Matt, you said, never defining yourself or limiting my possibilities. Regardless of the answer that I get, regardless of the status that I am satisfied with, at that state, the ability to question it one more time. That is the biggest insight that I got this year. Because when I settle, I stop being curious. When I stop being curious, I linger. And in order for you to be a happy person, you don't linger, right? And in order for you to not linger, you have to always constantly evaluate and question, what is this, right? And that is what I basically learned with a lot of practical experience in my Buddhist, training. So that I think has been the one key takeaway of this year. Man, wish I could have recorded this because that was a that was a good question. I'll answer this. I'll record this as a separately, and then I'll record it, post it as a separate video. So thanks for your question, Matt. All right. Well, I'm gonna sign off to actually prepare for my for my work meeting now. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye, and see you in Discord.